Yeah, I'm picturing folks kind of looking at the Snowflake data cloud and all the different categories, and maybe they're getting a bit more curious about like some of those boxes, and they don't recognize too many logos in there. And I feel like that spurs some of that curiosity and diving in and figuring out and discovering some of those new tools. I think that's the benefit of like still having a data cloud map, I guess, like landscape that's
Yeah.
small enough to still see the logo names on there. Scott Brinker and Franz can't say the same anymore about their landscape. You need a magnifying glass to be able to make any sense of that category. But obviously, you're
Yeah.
taking a much more focused and siloed look at the landscape. And it is really like an interesting point of view because it's like customers that are building on top of Snowflake. So it's obviously not a look at like all the data warehouses and all the tools that are on top of data warehouses. It's Snowflake only, and it's
Yeah.
forward thinking companies that are building on top of that. So I like the simplicity of it, but there's also like myself looking at the report last year. There's a bunch of names that jumped out that I wasn't familiar with. That I jumped on their sites, started following folks on LinkedIn, and even had some of those folks on the show. Just
That's
recently
great.
chatted with the founder of Rockerbox, who wasn't a measurement attribution vendor that I was super familiar with. So yeah, I think that's like part of the benefit there is like, yeah, I recognize some of the names, but like, damn, like I don't know that name and that name, and I'll go check them out and see if I need an extra tool in my stack.
Yeah. And look, I mean, Scott, first of all, shout out to Scott Brinker. He is, if you read the report, he was a huge help and consulted with him. He is the the godfather of
Yeah.
the ecosystem, in my opinion. Myles Younger as well, providing his kind of expertise on the ad tech side. And those guys, Franz and Scott provide a landscape of the full ecosystem, right? Their function in that report, besides all the trends and research that's amazing that's done in there, is really about talking about taking a step back and getting exhaustive on the ecosystem. Ours is more around saying, what are the ones, the tools and platforms that are kind of connected to the Snowflake ecosystem and that our customers are opting for, right? So it's exciting that you're seeing some of the names like Rockerbox, for example, who's there again. Uh, you know, our customers are choosing them, right? And they have delivered value, and so they and many others, right? And so it's exciting to at least get that name out there, particularly positioning it as a joint relationship with Snowflake, that our customers can kind of benefit from.